Comic Book Weekly. All right. So, sorry for starting a little bit late, but let's get into it, man. So, we like to start off this by talking about my weekly pull list. So, this week we're talking about December 10th, New Comic Book Day. I'll be honest with you guys, it's a little bit of a light week for me, right? But it might be light on the number of pulls, but the pulls are heavy themselves, dude. So, we'll get into it. Also, this New Comic Weekly, we're also reviewing everything I read last week for New Comic Book Day. You guys are seeing the stack. Got 10 things that I want to talk about. These came out for what is it? New Comic Book Day, December 3rd. Yeah, December 3rd, New Comic Book Day. So we're gonna review those right after we talk about this week's pull list for December 10th. And then we're gonna talk about the return of Vertigo. So with the bunch of Vertigo titles coming back, want to take an in-depth look at the first couple that are coming out that we have news and previews for. And then Vertigo also released a trailer. So we're gonna watch the trailer together here on this live, just get a sense of the new Vertigo titles that are coming out. Then we'll get into the previews of them, look at some of the art that you can expect in those Vertigo titles. Closing out this new Comic Weekly by unboxing Batgirl. Stephanie Brown, this McFarlane digital. I don't mess with the digital stuff, but we're going to be unboxing this Stephanie Brown. She's going to be joining the Bat family up here, as you can see. Last week, if you were there for that, we unboxed the McFarlane Classic Bat. Excuse me. Last week, we unboxed the classic McFarlane Batgirl. So today, we're going to be unboxing the Stephanie Brown, getting her up there. I also have a Cassandra Cain Batgirl up there, Tim Drake, Robin. I got a nice set of Bat families really coming together. I think this Stephanie Brown is kind of like the last piece to it out of the main major players. So yeah, Stephanie Brown, Batgirl will join the rest of the Bat family up here. We got Seth the Tech in the chat. He says, "Hey, what's up, Seth?" We also got Chewy Queso says, "What's up, y'all?" So, yeah, thank you guys for joining. So that's the run of show for today. So we're gonna be talking about our pull list for December 10th, New Comic Book Day. We're gonna be reviewing everything that came out last week for December 3rd, New Comic Book Day. We're gonna be looking at the Vertigo titles coming out, watching one of the trailers they just released for DC Vertigo, and then Stephanie Brown Batgirl unboxing. But let's start off with that pull. Actually, let's start off with Set the Tech. He says, "Just got my DC KO and DC Marvel 2 comics collab. Interested to hear what you think is the better out of the crossover, the Deadpool Batman or the Batman Deadpool?" And then, yeah, dude, you got DC KO. I mean, those are nice, dude. I'm having a lot of fun with DC KO. But enough jibber jabbing, dude. Let's start off with nice. Everything works, dude. Hey, you guys know tech problems around here. Not me. I don't have tech problems. Let's start off with Batman, Absolute Batman number 15. This is what everybody's hyped about, I'm sure, this week. Scott Snyder reunites with legendary artist Jock. Alfred reveals to Bruce the story of the man he's been chasing for years. Enter Joker. Scott Snyder and Jock reunite for an epic tale in the Absolute Universe. So we've got Absolute Joker getting his full blown introduction into the Absolute Universe. You guys know that we got a little bit of a look at him in the couple of Absolute Batman issues in the past. He's just like a handsome looking gentleman wearing a suit, very different from the Joker that we know from the main continuity. But it turns out that guy also turns into whatever the hell this is, man. So we'll have to see. The Joker can turn into this hulking monstrosity. Pretty interesting. I like the that kind of looks like a playing card. So that's a pretty cool A cover there, and a lot of different covers. People are hyped for this Absolute Joker. You guys picking up any of these variants? Look pretty disgusting, dude. Pretty disgusting, but that's the number one pull of the week. It's got to be pick of the week, man, with Absolute Batman number 15. Still have the same colorist, letterer, and the same writer, of course, but Jock stepping in for just a little bit. Give Dragoda a little bit of a break. So yeah, that's the first thing on the pull list. Question from Seth the Tech. He says, "Have I seen the pictures of Brazil Comic Con of the Supergirl of what the world may look like? I haven't, but I'm looking forward to the Supergirl trailer and stuff like that. That should be pretty cool." Paul Deb says, "Looking forward to this one. Easily most excited I've been for an issue of the run so far." So yeah, dude, people excited about Absolute Batman number 15. Let's talk about Assorted Crisis Events. If you guys aren't picking this up, this is a horror kind of like a horror sci-fi anthology series from writer Dennis Camp. He's writing the Ultimates title over at Marvel, and he's also writing Absolute Martian Manhunter. Hold on. Absolute Martian Manhunter. I dressed up for him as Halloween, if you guys missed that. But yeah, so Dennis Camp is a writer that's really just been killing it. He's just taken over on the Marvel side, the DC side. He's killing it. He's also coming in writing this Image comic series. Been going on for 7 issues. Apparently, it's an ongoing, so it's not, we don't have to worry about it ending anytime soon, I guess, which is really cool. So Eric Zawadski helping Dennis Camp on doing the art duties here, and then Jordi Belair, of course, as the colorist. It sounds like this one is about this guy named Tom. Everywhere he goes, dead bodies with his face and fingerprints pop up, seemingly from alternate realities. Tom struggles to make friends, find love, and pay the rent atop an ever growing mountain of corpses. So, yeah, dude, some little multiverse shenanigans. This guy named Tom. It's not going so hot for this guy named Tom. So, yeah, we'll have to see what happens in this assorted Christ events. This series is just awesome. I really recommend it. We got a question from Set the Tech. Did you see that they may be doing an Absolute Plastic Man? And if they do, I'll be so hyped for it. Dude, that sounds sick. Definitely a character that needs some absolute universe love. So yeah, definitely check out Assorted Crisis Events. Definitely recommend it. It's like a top, it's like a top 3 issue out of Image Comics right now, which is pretty crazy. They got a nice lineup. Assorted Crisis is definitely up there for me. Let's talk about Geiger number 19. So Ashley Arden getting a special spotlight in this issue. If you haven't been reading this Ghost Machine title, it's amazing, man. Geiger's my boy. Oh, actually, I'm wearing a Junkyard Joe shirt just by chance, dude. So Junkyard Joe, Geiger, my favorite parts of the Energon universe. I think it's so sick. Not the Energon, sorry. Yeah, this is not this is separate from the Energon, but it's in its own. It's called the Unnamed Universe. So yeah, definitely check out this Ghost Machine title. Issue number 19 might seem daunting, but you can go back and read those trades. They're really sick. Writer Jeff Johns, artist Gary Frank, and colorist Brad Anderson. Geiger 13, Geiger 19 should be pretty sick. Special spotlight on Ashley Arden, like I was saying, the glowing woman. Now on her own and off the grid, she sets out on a harrowing personal mission to rescue children from traffickers like the one she was hunted by. But her fury burns hot, and so does the trail of destruction she leaves behind. So this is going to be pretty sick, dude. The future of Geiger starts here, it says. So yeah, Geiger 19. Really excited about it. One of my favorite Image comic series. Let's talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 9. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 13, man. So this is a really big deal over on the IDW publishing. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is coming in with a new era. It says a new era begins. This is Jin Lewin Yang. Okay, he's coming in as the writer. We have artist Freddie E. Williams. So to give you guys a little taste of Freddie E. Williams' style, this is what we can expect in the series. So it's got like, yeah, I mean, it's a cool look for the turtles. They're all like a bulgy and kind of muscular dude. I think it looks pretty sick. So it's got colorist Andrew Dahlhaus. Okay, so Freddie E. Williams. Let's flip through some of the variant covers for this one. Yeah, so new era of the TMNT begins here. Of course, we know Jason Aaron and Juan Ferrer have left the title. Don't worry though, because Jason Aaron and Juan Ferrer are teaming back up. They're doing some absolute Superman stuff, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, so Jin Lewin Yang, Freddie E. Williams coming in to take over the Turtles title. The one thing I'm hoping right now, dude, for this Turtles title, can it just go on for a long time? Like, just go on for like 24 issues at least, right? Like double Jason Aaron and Juan Ferrer, because you can't be getting 12 issue turtle runs. I mean, that's just ridiculous, dude. Turtles kind of necessitates long runs, I feel. So hopefully we get a really nice long run from Jin Lewin Yang and Freddie Williams. Big Dog Comics says Geiger is his top 5 best of the year. It's sick, right? Like, it's just sick. I like the supporting cast, Nate the Nuclear Knight. You got Ashley Arden's a cool introduction, like a character introduction. You got Barney, of course. You got what's his name, Zigzag the zebra. So like I like this whole gang that's been rolling together in the Geiger comic. It's been really cool. So yeah, and then we've got Paul Dev, I think referring to TMNT, says, "I'm jumping onto the book here as I never got the chance with the Jason Aaron run, hoping I understand what's going on, lol." So, yeah, just to give you like a tiny, tiny bit of background. I'm sure they'll catch you up in the issue itself. In theory, this should be a great jumping on point. I wouldn't worry too much about missing Jason Aaron stuff. The whole thing about the Jason Aaron one run was about when it started, all the four brothers were like split off doing their own thing, and the whole 12 issue thing was like them coming back together. So by the end of it, they kind of settled into a rhythm, right? Like they're the Turtle brothers that we know and love. They're all four working together again. So that's I think where this run is going to start us at. So I think it should be a pretty good jumping on point. So if anybody's looking to jump into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, this should be the perfect place. So yeah, Jinlin Yang, Freddie E. Williams II, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 13, man, from IDW, coming this Wednesday. Definitely don't miss it. Let's also talk about Transformers 27. So, dude, I'll be honest, I'm not like loving the DNA covers here. Like, they're cool. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm never gonna say no to a DNA cover. It's just like, I don't know, dude. Like, I thought I'd be getting some Dan Mora covers, I guess, but it's been DNA doing all the A covers so far. Like these first two are cool, but this third one, I don't know. I feel like it's just like a slightly different style. I don't know. But anyways, Transformers number 27. So this is gonna be um oh dude, big dog, real quick. Broken man who keeps finding people to show him that all hope isn't lost. Geiger, dude. Also hopeful for TMNT. Yeah, dude, it's a big dog. He's got a nice pull list coming together here. But yeah, so Transformers 27, Megatron strikes back. It says Decepticons make their move to rescue one of their most powerful members from the Autobots. So yeah, it should be a big battle in this one. Who knows? We have Robert Kirkman, Dan Mora, of course. They took over the title from Daniel Warren Johnson and Jorge Corona a little bit ago. Crazy seeing Dan Mora, dude. He's doing so much stuff over at DC, but he's still doing all the interiors for Transformers. That's crazy, dude. Anyways, man. So yeah, Transformers 27, a series that I'm not going to be dropping anytime soon. Not as hyped as, like, if I'll be honest with you, these first four, I'm more hyped for those than the Transformers 27. So, yeah, we got Ultimate Spider-Man number 23. Couple more issues of Spider-Man left, dude. Ultimate Spider-Man coming to an end here. Two more left. That's crazy. That's crazy. So, yeah, issue number 23 of Ultimate Spider-Man. You think you think we're gonna tell you what happens in the penultimate issue of Ultimate Spider-Man? That would be spoilers galore. Just know it's building to a finale you won't want to miss. Jonathan Hickman, Marco Ketto, it's all been driving to this, man. So, yeah, Ultimate Spider-Man number 23. The covers have not been telling us anything as far as this series goes. I think all the covers are lies, dude, for the most part. Yeah, so that might be a little red herring. Who knows if we'll get a final battle between Kingpin and Spider-Man in this one, but looking forward to seeing how Jonathan Hickman wraps this up. The Ultimate Universe is coming to an end, man. Crazy to say. Two more of Ultimate Spider-Man. That sounds insane. All right, one more issue to talk about here before we do our weekly comic book reviews. Ultimate Wolverine number 12. If you guys know what happened in the last Ultimate Wolverine, tragic, tragic stuff. Like Logan just on he's gonna go savage mode in this one, dude. He's pissed. He's taking the fight right to them, I think. He's going right to the Eurasian capital after the devastation in Ultimate Wolverine 11. Wolverine is out for vengeance, and he's taking on the whole of the Eurasian Republic in this big, bad, and bloody climactic issue. Who will be left standing? So Chris Condon coming to the conclusion. It was the last one. Okay. Far from it. We got a lot more of this one coming. So, wait, that must mean Ultimate Spider-Man's dying, bro. That's my prediction in Endgame. Anyways, Ultimate Wolverine issue 12. Capuccio coming in. Loving Capuccio's style. I think it's a really cool look, dude. Of course. And we got Chris Condon. Just a writer that's been killing it, man. So, Ultimate Wolverine number 12. Looking forward to it. Definitely the least hype, though, on this list. But man, I only have 7 pulls this week for a total of $34. So a pretty light week for me. Is there anything this week that I'm missing? Anybody in the chat got some call outs? Anybody got some call-outs? Because if not, we'll move on to our weekly comic book reviews, everything that came out December 3rd. But if there's something I should be pulling, especially from Marvel, let me know or forever hold your peace, dude. No, we'll look through really quickly, really quickly. Let's go like this though. You guys know you could do this on the app, dude. It's pretty cool. Show me only number ones. Marvel doesn't have any number ones coming out. Uh, DC, DC. Oh, okay. So I should probably pick this up if my shop has it. I might try to pick this up. That's not too bad. Big Dog says I joined late sick pull list. If you're not on it, check out Infernal Hulk. Yeah, dude. So Infernal Hulk, I should have picked that up, but I didn't read the previous volume, and apparently you don't need to, right? I'll catch up at some point. I've been hearing really good things about that Hulk run, so I want to give it a shot. The Darkness from Image, not too not missing too much. It looks like pretty much just this DCKO. Yeah, Chewy Queso. I think you're right. Wonder Woman versus Lobo might be the only thing not on my pull list itself. Just looking at some number ones here. Nothing really jumping out at me, so I think that's kind of it. Infernal Hulk is all gas, dude. Yeah, I gotta check it out at some point. But yeah, man. So those are the pull lists. That's what I'm pulling for December 10th, New Comic Book Day. As always, we do this every week, man. But of course, we like to do the weekly comic book reviews as well. And I got a nice stack to talk about, dude. So this is everything I read for December 3rd, New Comic Book Day. Let's start off with some DCKO goodness, man, because you've been talking about it in the chat. Let's see here. I'm just trying to order them, you know. Yeah, that's the order I want to talk about them in. All right, so let's start off with, as you guys can see, we're bringing up Wonder Woman versus Lobo, right? You got to talk about Superman versus Captain Atom. I didn't know that Captain Atom was so powerful. I mean, it makes sense, right? He's got the power of the atom. Makes sense that he could be a god, you know. I didn't know too much about his alternate villain monarch identity or whatever. So yeah, this was like an all-out fight. It was kind of cool though because whenever you lose the round, you can choose an alternate version of yourself from the future, the past, whatever. It doesn't matter. You can be that version to go into the next round. So, oh crap! I gotta make a change really quick on my alive here. Oh yeah, so yeah, talking about talking about Captain Atom. Their fight was crazy. It got pretty wacky, sort of like meta bending time and realities. You guys see here, so it got kind of wacky. Didn't really expect it to be that wacky. I will be honest with you. So I don't know too much what to expect in the rest of the 1v1s. This one kind of involved Superman trying to find creative ways to beat Captain Atom besides just beating the crap out of him. Because Captain Atom has the power to like absorb all of Superman's energy, right? So Superman had to get pretty creative in this one. And I think the solution is pretty tragic. He might have sent Captain Atom into like a different like just into a different universe. I think he's just like away. So I don't know if Captain Atom's going to be in main continuity for a little while. He's like, don't you know, like if you beat me, you're going to send me back in time. And he's like, I know, I'm sorry, Captain Atom. And then he just sends him away. So yeah, I think that even though Superman won this round, he had to be, you know, he had to be kind of savage to do it. So yeah, we got Chewy Queso. He's saying he enjoyed the arcadey feel with the big KO letters on screen. Yeah, absolutely, dude. I thought that was it's kind of like a cool theme, right? Like it's like right here when Superman wins, it's like victory in the background, right? Like that's pretty cool, you know. Just the whole tournament idea. I think it's really cool. It's really fun. I was a little bit worried at first, but I'm loving it. So yeah, I just got here. Did I talk about Absolute Batman? Yes. Yeah. Unfortunately, JC 18D23. If you rewind to the very beginning, I already talked about my weekly pull list, unfortunately. So, yeah, we went through all the 7 pulls that I'm looking to get this week, and now we're on the comic book reviews. So, yeah, if you reverse, you should be able to find it. But yeah, let's talk about DCKO Night Fight, issue number 2. This is what Batman's been up to, right? So we know that he didn't make it into the tournament itself. So what's Batman up to? He's in kind of like a pocket universe. the like Heart of Apocalypse or whatever is trying to get Batman to come to some kind of revelation or something, right? So at first, Batman's in this alternate universe where Dick Grayson has become Batman. He's been training all these Robins to kind of protect Gotham, right? But Batman sees through it. He's like, hey, this isn't the real Gotham. And then the universe he gets kind of thrown into is one where the Red Hood, one where Tim Drake, or sorry, not Tim Drake. One where what the hell is his name? I just fucking forgot. Jason Todd. Jesus Christ. One where Jason Todd's running things as like this alternate red version of the Batman, dude. Super sick, man. So all these different looks of these different Batman variants from Dan Mora have been so sick. Um, Reminds me a lot of the Batman Superman fusion, right? So Dan Mora's got a knack for coming up with cool Batman designs, but yeah, in this alternate universe, the whole Gotham City has been quarantined off. Red Hood Batman is just keeping crime real low, using his own style of vengeance, I guess you could say. And it seems like in the next one, I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe like a Tim Drake Robin kind of thing. I don't know if Damian Wayne will be in the next one. I'm not sure, but yeah, pretty fun little side story for Batman as he's been going through it. Even though he's not in the tournament, he's been going through it. So, yeah, that's DCKO Night Fight number 2. Hold on here, backing it up. Oh yeah, any comments you guys got? Definitely leave them in the any questions you got. Definitely leave them in the comments. Should I get Absolute Batman number 15 if I haven't read Volume 2 yet? I think that you can get like you probably shouldn't, but I don't think it's like the worst idea, right? Like this, in theory, this Batman number 15 is going to be a Joker origin story. So, in theory, less so what happened in the previous arc, and more so like setting up this Joker character. So, I think you should be able to read it just fine. Um, and yeah, don't worry, that wasn't off topic, dude. I think that was a nice question. Alter Bed War says, "Yo, Cody, you ever join other people's podcasts?" So I've got invitations in the past. I'm just so busy doing my own thing, man. So it's tough. But people I always make room for is like near mint condition. Like whenever he asks if I can be on something, I try to make time. But I haven't done any other podcast appearances in a little bit. It's been a little bit of a break. Um, Doing my own thing. I would like to have more like during this time, during Monday, like I would like to have some people on, but I have not organized it yet. But maybe sometime soon. Set the Tech says, I like how Darkseid has taken over Booster Gold. Yeah, that was pretty crazy, man. I mean, um, poor Booster, dude. Poor Booster. Just lost in time. He's over there in the like he's just getting the shit kicked out of him all the time. So Paul Dev says finally some good Jason Todd content. Yeah, man. Listen, the Jason Todd heads are coming out for this one. I think it's pretty cool. Of course, the last series got a little bit of an axe before it even got started, really, right? So uh, LMAO, randomly forgetting a name, you should remember. Yeah, like especially when I'm live too, and like you're talking about Batman and like you're surrounded by Batman shit all around you, right? It's like, dang, you're really trying to like know your stuff, and then you forget Jason Todd's name, dude. It's pretty unfortunate. All right, let's talk about Batman number 4. Who's liking this Batman run, dude? I thought it's sick. So we got this new villain. His name is the Minotaur. He's like a high tech kind of guy, but he's got like 7 fingers. That's just like a little side thing, It's not really one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, he's kind of crazy looking, dude. Yeah, so this cool design from Jorge Jimenez. It's this new guy who's running the underground. He's got all the other gangs and stuff. They listen to the Minotaur, man, because the Minotaur, he's got all the algorithms. He knows the best way to make money. So if you just listen to the Minotaur, your crime organization is gonna get really rich. And so Batman's starting to he's starting to figure out what the heck the Minotaur is all about. He didn't know about him previously, but he catches this dude, interrogates him a little bit, and he spills the beans on the Minotaur. Excellent action from Jorge Jimenez. I mean, everybody's been saying that all throughout. I think that, dude, this scene right here, bro. Bruce Wayne's just such a ladies man, like he stops her her treadmill thing, catches her, she's falling in love with this Bruce already. But yeah, dude, I think that this series is just really sick so far. Um, I don't know. It's like every issue you can kind of just read it. You don't really need to. So far, it's like it hasn't really been so dependent on the previous issue, and that's a preview for It's Red Hood versus Joker as a DCKO tie-in coming out. JC says, like when Batman was just messing with anarchy. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting. He's just like got him upside down. He's like, just tell me, I don't have time to mess with you, Lonnie. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, dude. So all these different looks from Matt Fraction's Batman, like he can be, compassionate. He can be the suave kind of billionaire playboy. He can be Batman and get down to business. I like all the kind of all the tech going on in the Matt Fraction. Like whenever Batman uses a gadget, it'll throw up like, hey, this is Batman's Bat Grapple thing. Like here's all the stats on it or whatever. It's pretty cool. It's just like fun stuff. So Batman #4 continues to impress. Southside Ronin Love from Chicago says DC killed it. DC liked it again this week. Yeah, DC killed it again this week for sure. Big Dog says art is sick on Batman. JJ is always killing it. Yeah, man. Do you guys know like totally a side thing? It's not really about anything, but Jorge Jimenez, whenever he like does the modeling or does the poses for Batman, he like does himself as a stand-in, dude. So I guarantee you, him and his girl, he's like, hey, babe, just grab my chest, and I can take a quick picture, and then that'll be my Batman panel. So poor Jimenez, what a good-looking guy. Anyways, that's not about anything, but let's talk about Rook Exodus #9. If you guys haven't been reading Rook, to set it up, okay? There's a planet. It's a sci-fi planet. We were told, hey, we can go here and live because Earth was dying, so you can live on this other planet and have a good time. Didn't really work so well. The planet starts breaking down. The world engine starts breaking down, and all the rich people leave that planet. Now it's just like kind of like a Borderlands, like a wasteland survival. Everyone is just fighting for themselves, and so that's where we leaves us in Rook, right? Rook and all the other characters, they have these helmets that can control animals that are left on the planet. So it's pretty cool. They each can control, like this girl's Matterhorn. She can control like goats and stuff like that. They're fighting against the spider guy in this issue who controls all these spiders, or the spiders control him. That was a pretty cool twist. But yeah, this is the spider guy. So, anyways, what's going on in this series is that all these people with helmets that can control animals, they're trying to turn the world engine back on so the planet can start to be livable again, and they can make that planet their home. Because Earth, it's too far gone. They're not going back to Earth. So that's what's going on in this issue, in this arc so far. But yeah, we just get like really cool looks at all these different wardens, they're called, that each have their own helmets that control their own animals. And they're all trying to fight this Japanese dude named Stag, who's really good at fighting. He's trying to kill the Hound dude, Bloodhound, because he knows how to control the world engine or fix it. Anyways, there's a lot going on in this issue, or in this series just in general, but it's just like really strong sci-fi stuff. It's on a planet that's different from Earth. They all control like their own animals, so it's got like an ecological kind of flavor to it. And then yeah, they're all just like it's just like a really cool sci-fi, shoot 'em up kind of series. But I think that the Rook character is really cool, and you get this beautiful artwork from Jason Fabok too. So really glad that Rook is back. Big Dog Comics says the twist on the Spider Warden was so sick. Yeah, it's just sick, man. Right? So like everyone who reads Rook, they end up loving it. So I definitely recommend giving it a shot. With only 9 issues in, like you can catch up very easily. It's one trade and then like 2 or 3 issues, probably three at this point. Yeah, like 3 issues, and then you'll be all caught up, and you can start loving Rook like the rest of us, man. So yeah, Ghost Machine, they're killing it. You got Rook, you got Geiger, and you got Junkyard Joe's my boy. So those are my 3 favorites. Definitely check out some Ghost Machine stuff. All right, only a couple more issues to talk about. We got 5, all right? So that's more than a couple. But we'll blast through them. Let's get through Batgirl #14. We don't have the main artist on the series, Miyazawa. That's all right though. I think it's pretty sick stand-in artist. So we find Cassandra Cain Batgirl. She's trying to infiltrate the Unburied, this organization in all blue. So that's why she's kind of dressed like them, trying to be a spy. And things go wrong in the mission, I guess is what I'll say. So we find out that the group that she's running with, they're trying to attack the Unburied for other reasons, right? So Cassandra Cain is accidentally helping out the enemy, it turns out. And yeah, just really cool action in this one. I will say in this one, just a little bit kind of confusing, just a little bit, like a little bit kind of frantic. Like they'll do one panel for one person in the group, one panel for the next person. It's like where is all this going on, and is it all happening at the same time kind of thing? A little bit kind of a harder reading experience in some places. Just like kind of jumbled, I guess, like right here. Like this is like four different groups going on. Like they're each doing like their own thing. So it made for kind of a little bit of weird reading experience. But I still think the direction of the series is really strong from Tate Brombel. Um, just not like the best issue in the series so far, but that's all right. Batgirl number 14. Let's talk about the let's see. I'm excited to start the trade. Probably talking about Rook Exodus, I think. Probably Chewy, right? Zila collects. What's up, Zila? Thanks for joining, dude. Nice to see you. He says, I need to catch up. I hear great things. I definitely recommend it. And speaking of a series that I don't know, you catch up or not, but this series ended, dude. Sad to see it go. We have Birds of Prey, number 28, the last of Kelly Thompson's run. I thought it was good, dude. I thought it wrapped up very beautifully. So we saw the rest of the birds. They were going on a mission, kind of like an alternate reality video game kind of thing that they were involved in. We get the introduction to Ink from the Batman the animated series. Wait, the animated series was Ink in? Yeah, I think Batman the animated series, right? Or was Ink in Batman Beyond? I can't even remember, dude. I can't remember, but yeah, so we get Ink was introduced a couple issues ago into the story. That was cool. We get another introduction, like another look at the biggest Barda. So if you guys read the New Gods issue a couple issues ago, Barda also grew really big. She's been doing that a lot this year, right? But yeah, all in all, I just like how this one wrapped up. The Birds of Prey, they beat the bad guys, and then turns out Dinah and Barbara, they're talking and they say, hey, we need to disband the birds, right? So the theme throughout this whole like run so far has been the fact that the birds like they have so many enemies, right? Because you're a team that's made up of so many different members. Each one has all these different enemies. So they say it's like, hey, it's unsafe for us to work as a team. Like maybe at some point in the future we can bring the birds back, but for now let's disband the team. So they do get a little send off here as we see the team just hanging out on the rooftop, drinking a little bit before they split off and depart, go their own ways. We see Big Barda and Little Bat, of course. We see Dinah, her sister. They're going off onto a vacation. And yeah, so that's it for this Birds of Prey run, man. And just got to say, it's just kind of sad because although this issue, like the series wasn't like a 9 out of 10, like all the way throughout, it was just fun. You have this great team dynamic. You know what I mean? Like just the idea to bring Cassandra Cain and Big Barda together, that's just like a match made in heaven. Like the way they played off each other throughout the whole series was so cool. Barbara and Dinah, the fact that they have different philosophies on leadership and stuff like that too, always kind of challenging each other. It's just a great series all throughout, man. So hopefully you guys give it a shot. This Birds of Prey, catch it on DC Universe Infinite. You know what I mean? Catch it in a trade, read through your library. I think it was fun stuff, dude. All right, let's talk about Criminal. Criminal, this little one shot, oversized one shot from Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips, and Image Comics. It's badass, dude. Criminal's back. This is Ricky Lawless. A little bit of a heist gone wrong, starring Ricky Lawless, and I like this newspaper print they used. Like that's super cool and unique. I think that the coloring from Jacob Phillips as well was really stand out. It's just like this little heist gone wrong. This guy Ricky Lawless is supposed to be an easy. You wait in the hotel room. When the guy comes in, you just shake him down for his money and you escape. That should be pretty easy. He accidentally snorts some. He thinks it's cocaine. He accidentally snorts heroin, and it makes the heist a little bit harder when you're when you're high as shit on heroin. So yeah, Ricky Lawless kind of just hangs out in the hotel room. He's falling asleep. He accidentally hires like an escort or whatever, and then the guy breaks into the hotel and starts kicking the shit out of Ricky Lawless. And he's like, "Okay, this is the guy I'm supposed to rob." And then and then you find out that maybe the hotel room he wasn't even the right one, dude. So he robbed the wrong guy, caused all this issues. Um, yeah. So, anyways, you gotta read Criminal issue 1. It's so sick. Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips. It's just great to be in that criminal world again, right? So I gotta read some more Criminal. I haven't read all of Deluxe Edition number 3. I haven't read the Knives that came out recently as well. So yeah, dude, you gotta read Criminal coming out. Are you gonna watch the show when it comes out? Yeah. So, dude, the weird thing about the show, it says coming soon to a streaming platform near you, right? And then maybe I can show you this really quick on the screen share. Look at this. It says the first uh, criminal single issue in over 5 years arrives on the eve of the streaming TV series premiere. So this show didn't come out last night or whatever. It didn't come out a couple nights ago. I don't know when the show is coming out, but the solicitation seems out of date. But we do know that there is a show coming. It'll just take a little bit to get to us, I guess. But yeah, dude, I'm pretty excited about the show. Uh, to me, right, like it's just a no-brainer. Like criminal is just such an easy translation into a show. Like just make it like Breaking Bad. It's just a crime series, right? So yeah, that should be pretty cool. Two more issues to talk about. Actually, three, sorry, but we'll go through them quick. Fantastic Four number 6. This one was just a it's like the whole family's involved and some people start invading and the Fantastic Four get out of that by using science. So pretty classic for the Fantastic Four there. They go back into the Baxter building. They're hanging out, and then they get attacked by the wizard. What's this guy's name? The Weather Wizard, something like that. He attacks. Turns out he hacked into Reed Richards' whole system, and he's not supposed to be able to do that. They look into why the Weather Wizard was able to hack them, and it turns out that the system that Reed Richards was using for his cryptology to keep everything nice and secure, his encryption, it's being it's like he uses like the background static radiation or whatever from like the Big Bang to create his keys to do his cryptology. Anyways, all that being said, it turns out Galactus is sending Reed Richard a message, or he's trying to find Sue Storm. Um, so yeah. Hey, I'll probably be going for about 30 minutes. So I'll be going for probably about 30 minutes. God, Jerry. Yeah, so that was issue number 6 of Fantastic Four. So just a nice, fun sci-fi issue, and it's setting up something larger, potentially with Galactus coming back into the Fantastic Four, world in a big way. So Fantastic Four number 6, Ryan North continues to amaze. Humberto Ramos, such a great look for the Fantastic Four. Some nice, fun family science and a pretty good action too. Big Dog Comics says the creators got to consult a lot, so I think it's going to be mad gas in terms of the criminal show, dude. Absolutely, yeah, yeah. That's like the reason why I'm so hopeful about it. You're right, is that Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips were so heavily involved. So I don't think that it could be. I guess I shouldn't say anything because the show's not out, but I don't think it could be bad. I guess I'll say. And then Paul Dev says, "What's a horror comic I'd like to see adapted into a TV show or movie?" That's a good question. Oh, you know it's a good one? The Deviant. The Deviant should be a little Christmas horror movie or like a mini series or something. I think that could slam. That'd be pretty badass, dude. For those that don't know the Deviant, because I have it right behind me. So the Deviant, little Christmas horror series from James Tynion the Fourth and Joshua Hickson on the art. It's like this Christmas killer guy. So I think that could be a pretty badass sort of Christmas movie or show. Oh man, my stuff's falling down. That's all right. Let's continue with the reviews. All right, we got two more. We got the Dreadnought War Part 3, G.I. Joe 15. So this was another great issue as we see Duke and Cobra Commander are caught by this giant. He looks like Roadhog. Actually, his name might be Roadhog. I forget. He looks like Roadhog from Overwatch. And he's kind of strung up and captured Duke and Cobra Commander. And then it turns out the Dreadnoks, they want to work with this Roadhog looking dude. So now this Roadhog looking dude is best friends with the members of the Dreadnought. We still know that Destro is making his power play. He's trying to rule over Cobra Commander's organization. And Duke and Cobra Commander have a little back and forth. And then the Dreadnoks they come into the room. And it's not looking so good for Cobra Commander and Duke now that all their enemies are kind of buddies with each other. Cobra Commander has a savage moment where he bites this dude's neck. Cobra Commander is just going for the jugular, dude, to try to escape. And yeah, dude, it kind of leaves us in a place where the rest of the G.I. Joes, they potentially have to go and save Duke because he has not checked in when he was supposed to. And hopefully they can get involved in the story, help Duke out, and I guess also help out Cobra Commander. enemy of my enemy is my friend kind of thing. Last but not least, let's talk about Ultimate Universe 2 years in. Listen, if anybody's thinking about buying this issue, I say skip it. I say skip it. I say skip it. I regret that I bought it because I'm trying to know about the Ultimate Universe, but this thing was like, this thing was just like a hodgepodge. Like, this thing was kind of a mess, dude. I'm not gonna lie. Maybe I was in the wrong headspace when I read it, but I just found it to be just like kind of convoluted and like I don't know. Maybe I'm a dumbass. This part with this ultimate daredevil is kind of a cool character. He can like bend space and time as he's jumping around the panels, little fourth wall breaking kind of stuff. That was cool, a cool sequence. But I just found this entire issue to be like, what even the hell is going on? Like, I almost like do not care because I don't think this is going to be related in any way to the maker breaking out? Like, are these guys coming back into the story at all? I don't know. I have no idea. So, anyways, I say skip this one. If you guys ended up pulling it, maybe you liked it better than I did, but I did not like that read one bit. One of the worst comic book reads of the year, dude, if I'm being honest with you. So yeah, that's what we got for our weekly comic book review, and that'll wrap up New Comic Weekly, except for the action figure. We're going to be doing the action figure really quick. I know I said I'd talk about Vertigo stuff. Maybe we still can. We still can. Let's do it. It won't take that long, right? Okay, so Vertigo's coming back, all right? It's coming back next year. If you're not hyped about it, you really should be, all right? So we're going to talk about Vertigo in this part. We're also going to watch the trailer that they just released. So let's do that right now, dude. You probably want to have sound. Deal with it. All right, so this is the Vertigo trailer. It's called We're Back, DC Vertigo, all right? Okay, okay. Oh, Jesus Christ. You know, all right, we're back. DC Vertigo. Genre shattering. Okay. I know that dude. Haven't read it, but I know that dude. Stories that remade comics. Now, get ready. Ooh, okay. See some Stepan Morian art of your imagination. Okay, Nice House by the Sea, created by the next generation of visionary voices. Yep, the cover. James Tynion the fourth. Oh, nice. That's Bleeding Hearts. That's Dennis Camp series. Zombie story there. End of Life, little Hitman kind of action series. The Brutal Dark. Excited about this one. Heard it's like a Indiana Jones, and then a little bit of a preview of what's to come. Okay. So yeah, dude, this is the trailer. DC Vertigo. They're pumped about it, so we should be too as an audience. Returning 2026. All right. I'm sure it was probably better with sound. Ink was a Batman Beyond character. Okay, thanks for filling me in. That's what I thought, but then I'm like, why is she in main continuity Batman, not Batman Beyond? But it looks like Kelly Thompson just took some creative liberties and like, hey, let's bring her into main continuity. So she was in that Birds of Prey show. But anyways, that's DC Vertigo, dude. So they're back. Of course, we know that a bunch of DC Vertigo titles are coming out. So I wanted to watch the trailer and then I wanted to go into this article that AIPT has put together. DC First Look, Vertigo's big 2026 relaunch, new previews, covers, and a new era. So I wanted to talk about each Vertigo title a little bit, give you guys a little bit of an idea of what to expect in the Vertigo series. And then, of course, at the very end, we're going to unbox this Stephanie Brown Batgirl. So stay tuned for that. But DC Vertigo. So first off, you get this cool connecting variant cover by Alvaro Martinez Bueno. So this is going to be the first Nice House by the Sea, Bleeding Hearts, End of Life, Peril of the Brutal Dark. You get all four of those, you link them together, and you have this really cool DC Vertigo new era. Why is it purple? Dude, this is so stupid. You guys have seen it, all right? You guys saw it before I made it purple and couldn't take it back. Here, let's refresh the page. How about that? Yeah, okay, so that's pretty cool. That's just a cool look. And always like a good connecting cover, give you guys a taste of what to expect in the series. and then let's go down. All right. So the first things first, Nice House by the Sea. If you were pulling the series before, it was a DC Black Label series, right? But with the reemergence of DC Vertigo, they're moving it over to DC Vertigo. Makes sense, right? Paul Deb says really looking forward to Bleeding Hearts. Anything Dennis Camp has me sold after reading Absolute Martian Manhunter, dude. Yeah, I think that that's got to be my number two, probably, if I'm being honest with you. It's tough to say because they're all really, really hyped for. Big Dog says, I collect the connecting covers for Vertigo. Yeah, so I didn't know about it previously, but seeing it here, that's pretty sick. I might have to go for those. I might have to let my shop know to get me. Because, like, dude, what do you do with Vertigo with connecting covers? That's always my thing. Like, I want to display them in like in a frame or something, right? But you got to get a frame like that. That'd be a big one for 4 different issues. Anyways, Nice House by the Sea. If you guys don't know about it, it's this group of people who are all stuck in a house at the end of the world. They can't die or anything, but the rest of the world is ended. And it's kind of like a what do you do at the end of the world when all your needs are met kind of thing. And turns out the people that are keeping them there are kind of like these weird alien dimensional beings, right? It gets pretty sci-fi and a little bit trippy. So yeah, definitely recommend checking out Nice House by the Sea, a James Tynion the Fourth classic. Just clicked on an ad on accident, dude. It's terrible, terrible web browsing experience nowadays, huh? But this is the art from Alvaro Martinez Bueno. He's got such a cool look, man. So yeah, very like loving this painted style. Of course, you got Jordi Belair, I believe, still doing the coloring for this series. Really trippy stuff, man. Really trippy use of colors here. So that'll be pretty good. Nice House by the Sea. Love that it's coming back, man. Been a little bit. So it's going to be on sale on February 4th. So look forward to that. Bleeding Hearts, as Paul Dev has said in the chat, looking forward to this one because Dennis Camp's writing it. So Dennis Camp writing Absolute Martian Manhunter, killing it over at DC. It's no brainer that DC gave him a DC Vertigo title because he's been killing it with that Absolute Martian Manhunter series. And then, of course, he's been killing on the Ultimate title. Now that the Ultimates is kind of coming to a close, Dennis Camp opens him up to have some more room to do a DC Vertigo title. So it seems like we got this one coming out. This is with collaborator Stefan Morian. So if you didn't read the series 20th Century Men, I wish I could grab my trade of it. Uh, I don't see it like right away, so I'm not going to go over and grab it. But I've got the trade of it somewhere over there. 20th Century Men it's a top 20 image comic. It really is that good. So Stepan Morian killed it on that one. Really trippy stuff. It's like a World War II superhero kind of series. And yeah, I think Dennis Camp, Stepan Morian really did a great job on that one. So it's really cool seeing them reunite for this Bleeding Hearts series. Showing you guys some variant covers. The setup for this one is all about this world has been taken over by zombies, right? But it's like 10 years after that, and the zombies themselves have developed their own culture, their own society, their own language, right? And one of the dudes who's a zombie, I think he starts turning back into a human, or like his heart starts beating again. And it's like, now this guy's like an outcast from the rest of the zombies because he's like alive, right? So it's kind of like a twist on a zombie story, I guess. So we'll have to see what the hell's going on with this one. The preview art looks insane, but it looks like Stepan Morian for sure, right? With Matt Hollingsworth on the colors. But you know the series is going to be real trippy. You know it's going to be a thinker. You know it's going to make you feel. Dennis Camp's good at doing all of that, man. So, yeah, definitely looking forward to. Um, is this going to be? I don't know how many issues the series is going to be, but Bleeding Hearts #1 coming next year, February February 11th. All right, so 1 week after Nice House by the Sea. That's kind of smart how they're doing it, one per week, right? So we got this coming out. Next one we're going to talk about is End of Life from Kyle Starks and Steve Pugh. Now, this is a duo that's worked together when they did Peacemaker Tries Hard, and that's a fun little DC Black Label series. If you like that Peacemaker show, then you got to read Peacemaker Tries Hard. It's that same kind of, Christopher. How's his last name? Not Priest. That's the comic. That's the comic book creator, Christopher Smith. Something boring like that, right? Anyways, End of Life. it seems like it's gonna be a story about the main dude on the cover here. He's like a hitman guy. He tries to like move back to his hometown to like not be a hitman, but the hitman organization like comes after him or something like that. So I'm expecting this to be an action-packed series, a lot of gun shooting kind of vibe. As we see here, the guy on the cover wearing that suit, he's got that slick back hair. This Steve Pugh artwork looks pretty sick. As we see this guy just opening fire um, with the cig hanging out of his mouth. He's got that neck tat going up. So yeah, dude, that's gonna be End of Life. Pretty cool setup, I guess, from Steve Pugh and Kyle Starks. I like Kyle Starks stuff, man. Whenever he did I Hate This Place, um, and then Peacemaker Tries Hard. There's another series I read that's Kyle Starks, but I forgot. Christopher Smith. All right, so I nailed that one. Yeah, so that's End of Life, and that will come out on February 18th, so 1 week after Bleeding Hearts. So okay, and then the last one that we're talking about here, I believe, is The Peril of the Brutal Dark, and Ezra Kane Mystery. This one is from Chris Condon and Jacob Phillips. Now, this duo worked together, That Texas Blood, Enfield Gang Massacre, and then Jacob Phillips has been writing, doing some art for the zombie series out of Image Comics, Everything Dead and Dying. That's been really good. And then Chris Condon's been killing it with Ultimate Wolverine, um, the Green Arrow series that just got canceled at DC. And it seems like Chris Condon's got a lot more Marvel stuff coming down the pipe, but he's doing some DC stuff with this DC Vertigo title. They're letting him work on this since it's more creator owned, I believe. But I think this one is going to be he's like a private investigator type, but kind of like a mix of that with like Indiana Jones, I guess. So if we're scrolling down, you see like the time frame this take place in, right? Like the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s kind of era, right? Um, we see him going on archaeological digs. Like this looks like Raiders Lost Ark, right? Very Raiders inspired as they're dropping into the tomb, but it's got that Jacob Phillips kind of flavor. Takes after his dad. Just read some of his stuff in Criminal as we see this old man get blown to bits through the door. Pretty gory read. Looks like it's going to be for sure. And then who's doing the coloring? Maybe I should. Maybe it's on the bottom. The colorist for this is doesn't say. Doesn't say. Is it Jacob Phillips also doing the coloring? That's pretty impressive if that's the case. But yeah, Chris Conn and Jacob Phillips, The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra Kane Mystery. So yeah, 1941, New York. He's a private investigator with a reputation for taking it on the chin if it means solving a case. But it's his former life as an archaeological student. Okay, there we go. So that's the connection there. But yeah, man. So those are the first couple DC Vertigo titles that I wanted to make you guys aware of. And then coming later on, we have 100 Bullets coming back, A Walking Shadow, Fanatic, Necrotarius. That's the one from Tom Taylor and Derek Robinson. That's going to be a dinosaur type of series. We have a Ram V and Mike Perkins series coming out. And then Mariko Tamaki and Rosemary Valerio O'Connell bring us The Crying Doll. So yeah, those are what's coming out. And then the last one I wanted to talk about real quickly, I guess that Grant Morrison is going to be writing a DC Vertigo title as well. Or Sebastian O was a series back in like the 90s that Grant Morrison worked on. And I guess they're bringing it back into the new DC Vertigo line. So I don't know too much about Sebastian O, but I did want to mention it here. I guess it's a steampunk satire series. So whatever that means, dude. But yeah, so Sebastian O coming from Grant Morrison coming to Vertigo. But yeah, so that's it for the Vertigo discussion. A lot of cool Vertigo titles coming soon in 2026. But before I let you guys go, for New Comic Weekly, we got to unbox an action figure. And this week we're unboxing the Stephanie Brown Batgirl McFarlane Digital. All right, so let's get this open. Oh, crap. Oh, man. I only have a knife. Hey, Riley. She's doing something. Dang it, dude. I'm not gonna be able to open this with the scissors. Without scissors, dude. Huh. Like, you can try to open it with a knife, but that's not gonna work, you know? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see how well this works. But yeah, hopefully you guys are having a good week so far. I guess it's only Monday. I like doing this on Monday. Start the week strong with some content, you know. So, all right, showing you guys inside the box. You get the Stephanie Brown character, of course. I like that purple contrast, pretty nice with her blonde hair. In terms of accessories it comes with, you got that batarang. Was that gold, kind of like a rose gold kind of color, and then you get the you know, the grapple, the bat grapple as well. Of course, you know it's the wired cape. I don't get figures that don't got the wired cape unless it's the Doctor Doom, Marvel Legends, of course. Gotta go, but amazing content as always. Yo, shout out Big Dog. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate anybody stopping in, even if it's for like a minute. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, shout out to Big Dog, dude. All right, let's get this guy. So let's get this girl open. You know. Okay. Yeah, this is gonna be tough with a knife, dude. Let's see. Ah, jeez. Oh my god. Whew. Let's stab my freaking eye out with this thing, dude. Okay. It's not going as bad as I thought it would, to be honest with you. Okay. Again, though, I should do this before I even go live, right? Maybe next time. Okay. All right. Hey, that actually didn't go so bad. All right. So this is the Stephanie Brown Batgirl. Let's get her out of the packaging. Oh, did I get it? No, I didn't. Dang it, missed one on the hand. Oh my god, dude, I'm gonna stab myself, bro. Jesus Christ. All right, that's not how you use a knife, by the way. If there's any kids watching, don't do it like me, all right? All right, let's get them out. Don't tell me, dude. Jesus Christ. Again, McFarlane, week after week, just get a better system to tie your action figures to the box. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. All right, so get the accessories out. Popping out the batarang. So yeah, I mean, in terms of accessories, looking a little light, not gonna lie, and you also do not get any hand swaps. McFarlane, you're cheaping out on us, dude. Must be those tariffs or something, man. All right, so that's what we got in the box, okay? I guess we'll also get the card out. Might as well. I don't do the McFarlane digital card. If anybody does those, I do not partake in NFTs or anything. Okay. Got the Stephanie Brown card out. We got the Dinky McFarlane stand. Made worse by the fact that it says McFarlane Toys Digital and its big ugly logo. Okay, but and of course you get that digital card. Throw it in the trash, dude. All right. And then you get this art card. Don't know what to do with all my art cards, but we got it. The Stephanie Brown Batgirl. She looks pretty badass, dude. Not gonna lie. Of course, you get there. Batgirl. Real name Stephanie Brown. Wait, can you even read that? Can you even read that? Is it too blurry? Okay, there we go. There we go. All righty. So that's Batgirl's bio. Let's do the first look straight out the box, okay? First look straight out the box. I think she's perfect. She's got the spoiler mask on, right? Well, I guess I don't know. Is this her? I don't know the lore too much, guys. Would you consider this her spoiler mask? I don't even know. But she's got the hood. The hood has a nice wire around the brim, as you can see. So you can bend this hood around. That's always a nice little touch. I know the Damian Wayne they released recently also had a nice little bendable hood. So that's always cool. The hood is long enough and large enough to go over her ponytail. That's cool. The ponytail kind of waving. Oh, it's kind of like a pony. It's kind of like a triple ponytail kind of setup there for Stephanie Brown. So that's cool. Looking pretty cool with the hood down, the hood up. I think it looks cool either way, dude. So that's very cool. As we see the 360 on the head. Let's do that the red actually. All right, so the three. Okay, lagged a little bit. You got the 360 on the head. Is that the cape? Oh, it looks like the cape goes full 360 as well. So the cape is not attached to the cape itself. Like, sorry, the hood is not attached to the cape. So that's kind of cool, actually, right? So you can move the head around for Stephanie, move the cape around as much as you want, and it's independent from the cape. Move the hood around, and it's independent from the cape. That makes sense, guys? Geez, sorry, I'm an idiot. Okay, 360 on the head. Are the arms doing the T-pose? Yep, T-pose and more, and you get that 360 shoulder joint. You get that 360 bicep swivel, and you get that crunchy double jointed elbow. And you get that 360 wrist with the pivot. Nice. 360. Yeah, okay, cool. So, yeah, in terms of articulation so far, it's pretty par for the course for McFarlane, except for the fact that the hood is independent from the cape. That's pretty cool. Oh, I didn't feel it earlier. Wait, what is that? Oh, her ponytail pops off. I don't know why you'd want that, but you can do it. The ponytail pops off. Okay, cool. I mean, that would suck if you lose it. If you lose a ponytail, that's no good, right? So, but the fact you can take it off, you can twist it. Maybe that's more for like what it's supposed to be for, right? You can just twist it. I didn't do the looking up and looking down, right? So looking up, keep this in your head, dude. A little bit too loose on that. It comes out pretty easily. All right, so looking up, not so much. Her ponytail kind of gets in the way, right? So that makes sense. Even so, it doesn't go back enough, right? The forward though, you're getting decent forward look. Do these spin around at all? No, I don't think her other hair spins around. It's just the top. It's just the ponytail, anyways. So that's the head. You're not getting too far back, but you are getting a decent amount forward. Let's do the 360 on the torso. Yep, 360 on the torso, and then you get that. You get that crunch. Is she crunching? Not the best crunch forward. Not the best at all. Kind of pathetic actually. But you get a decent going back. That might make up for it, right? So you can't go forward so much, but you can go back. What about the legs? It's got that classic McFarlane crotch joint. Kicking up. Not super high. Not the. Okay, yeah. That's a decent high kick. Are you going back? Yep, you're going back pretty far too. So, yeah, the articulation on this figure is pretty good. A little bit better than your typical McFarlane. And you get that crunchy knees, of course. Crunchy double jointed knees. And you get that classic boot that McFarlane does. You get that 360 with that ratchet kind of joint. And you get that, say it with me, toe articulation. A little bit crunchy on this one, but you still get it. That toe articulation, dude. And then I always forget to show this part, right? I know some people like to see it. Like the twisting of the thighs. Not so good. This one moves more than the other one. Yeah, so the twisting of the thighs, not so much. But yeah, overall, I would say that the articulation on this figure probably getting like a 8 point. You're probably getting like an 8. Pretty solid, just typical par for the course McFarlane articulation, plus a little bit more, like the fact that you get a little bit of a back bend and you get the legs forward, like you can get some pretty interesting poses, I'm sure. I'm not the best at posing, but yeah. So you get that plus the wired cape. I would say that for a looks, this figure gets a 9. Articulation, we'll bump it down to a 7.5, which means overall, using my patented figure reviewing score, this figure is getting an 8. An 8, guys. So pretty solid. McFarlane toys. Pretty solid member of the Bat family. The hood is getting all tangled up. I gotta fix this. Hold on. But the accessories, right? So that's why I gave it such a lower score, maybe. The accessories are left a little bit to be desired. You don't get any hand swaps. The, stop including a grapple. What am I gonna do with a grapple gun, dude? I kind of hate it. I'd rather you do some hands. I'd rather you include some hands rather than a grapple gun. Um, I guess you got to include a batarang. You can't have a McFarlane Batman Bat Fam character without a batarang or whatever. But yeah, overall, I would give this figure a solid 8. Pretty good on the looks, great on the articulation, but pretty bad on the accessories. But that's what we got for the, Stephanie Brown Batgirl McFarlane. Looking pretty cool with that wired cape and hood, and that bright purple. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this Batgirl. She's going to be joining the rest of the Bat fam up here joining. We got Batgirl, Barbara Gordon. We also got Batgirl, Cassandra Cain somewhere back there as well. We got Dick Grayson, of course. Nightwing got Red Hood. You got Damian Wayne. You got Hush Batman up there as well, and Tim Drake. I don't want to leave out Tim Drake with the bow staff. So yeah, that's what the Stephanie Brown's going right on that shelf. Let me know what you guys think. And that'll do it for New Comic Weekly. We talked about my weekly comic book pulls for December 10th, upcoming this new Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. And then we also reviewed everything I read from last week, New Comic Book Day, December 3rd. So back up if you'd like to watch those. And then we also talked about Vertigo. Vertigo coming back, closing out with a nice unboxing. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to check out New Comic Book Weekly next Monday around 4 p.m. Eastern. We'll be doing something similar to this. More comic book pulls, more action figures, and more comic reviews. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, dude. Paul Dev. Yeah, I don't care about NFTs.